Sports with Blue Yonder Broadband Internet.
Hello, welcome to another brand spanking new Gamer TV. So hot it leaves scorch marks across your set. On the show today, we don our wellies and head down to the farm to check out Harvest Moon, A Wonderful Life. We go back to the future with Time Splitters and spend some quality time with the voice of Mario. But first, here's the lowdown on the latest gaming device to enter our hearts, the Nintendo DS. Ever since we first grasped their iconic Game Boy 15 years ago, through to its recent evolution as Game Boy Advance, Nintendo has remained at the top of the handheld pile. Now their vision of the next generation of gaming on the go has landed in Japan and the US, gamers there are already seeing double. The first striking feature you'll notice about the Nintendo DS is, of course, its twin screens, a feature reminiscent of Nintendo's Game & Watch LCD games from the early 80s. The DS might look like a descendant of these antiques, but as you'd expect, it's a world apart. Both displays look alike. They're 3 inches from corner to corner, backlit and capable of beaming 260,000 colours at you. The bottom half is the innovative bit though. It's a transparent analogue touchscreen. This hands-on, or rather stylus-on approach works brilliantly, allowing versatile control methods and pinpoint accuracy. Developers now have the interesting challenge of how to best use it. In another ingenious move, the Nintendo boffins have built in a microphone for voice recognition. Expect to see DS owners occasionally shout instructions or even, if they so wish, blow at their consoles. Which will probably make them all look a bit weird. More traditional controls are present too. The customary cross-shaped D-pad, 4 face buttons and 2 shoulder triggers. When pressed, these all feel positive and responsive. Multiplayer gaming is made effortless and cable-free thanks to the DS's wireless network capabilities. What's more, it only needs one of the players to own one of the new game cards. But if you've got a load of GBA cards, don't trade them in just yet. They have their own tailor-made port on the new machine. You'll want games straight away. For the US and Japanese launch, and probably the early 2005 European launch too, the system comes with Metroid Prime Hunters First Hunt, a demo version of Seamus's forthcoming DS debut. The touchscreen works brilliantly for controlling Metroid's first-person aiming. It's actually much easier to get along with than the GameCube versions. Add graphics that provide more polished 3D than the expected N64 standard benchmark, and First Hunt becomes an impressive taste of things to come. Early impressions of the DS have been excellent. As always, success will depend on a wealth of quality software, but at the moment, the future on 2 screens looks bright. You can see our impressions of the launch titles later in the show. Music is the unrecognised hero of the video game experience, and few games demonstrate the art better than the recently released Myst 4 Revelation. Myst is a little different from most games.
You think that's strange that my necklace shows me things?
Instead of guns and girls, you've got books and blokes with beards. But what it does have is atmosphere, and here the music plays a very important role. So when we wanted to find out what it takes to make games music, there was only one man to talk to, Myst 4 composer Jack Wall.
I think that it requires a special skill beyond just composing the music that takes a while to really understand and learn. And I think you really have to love video games.
Jack should know, as Myst actually inspired him to start writing games music in the first place.
I had this really serendipitous occurrence. Myst was the first real computer game I ever played. And it blew me away because I bought this computer and a friend of mine gave me the CD, I popped it in, and I couldn't stop playing it until I finished it. And it was just like, wow.
10 years down the line, and with a critically acclaimed score for Myst 3 under his belt, Jack was the first choice to compose the music for Revelation, the latest in the Myst series. He always begins the process on his laptop.
What I thought I'd do is show you guys a little bit about how we produce this music. I'm just going to play the very beginning.
All these blocks on the screen are bits of music, which Jack can arrange in different ways until he gets it right.
Basically, you've got everything laid out like your typical orchestra would be laid out. You've got your strings up here, you've got your brass here, you've got your choir here, timpani here.
Creating the unique Myst atmosphere requires each instrument to play a certain role.
The brass is all about the power. It's about the grandiose, kind of like bum 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 dum bum bum dum bum. It's in 7/8. It's kind of jarring. Same with the electronic percussion. It's there to sort of like knock you off your feet, because I just always feel like there should be one piece in Myst that does that, since the whole score is so ambient.
For power, nothing beats a real orchestra. So Jack went all the way to Bratislava to find one for the final recording sessions.
Playing notes on a keyboard is great because it's a great tool set, but there's nothing like bringing your music alive with a group of 70+ people that have their own interpretation of what you're doing.
The next step for Jack is taking it live. Concerts of video game music are already big in Korea and Japan, so Jack is planning something similar for the United States. His inspiration was an event put on at the prestigious Disney Concert Hall in Los Angeles, featuring the LA Philharmonic playing the music from the Final Fantasy series. The concert sold out, and composer Nobuo Uematsu received a standing ovation. Quite a departure from the bleeps and blips of Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. From console to concert hall, video game music is no longer the poor relation of film.
I love film music. I grew up on it, and I've always aspired to be a film composer, but being a video game composer to me it's slightly more special because it's so unique.
I'll tell Dad you're here. Come on.
Up next, forget surfing the net, we've done it for you. Here's all the gaming news worth knowing. The runaway success of the DS launch in America wasn't mirrored in Japan. Although just under half their 500,000 stock sold in the first 24 hours, there weren't the queues we've been accustomed to for Nintendo product launches. Maybe it was the strange midweek launch, or perhaps a sign that people are more impressed with Sony's PSP. The UK's must-have present for this Christmas is Sony's new slimline PS2. Such has been the demand, it's sparked a bidding war on eBay. Temporary shortages of the new slimline PS2 console have been caused by production and shipping delays, and the overwhelming demand has seen some consoles go for as much as 400 quid. News that Codemasters have suspended all development on Club Football 2006 won't come as a great surprise to anyone who played it. Codemasters were hoping that the game would compete with current football heavyweights FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer. Frankly, it didn't. Made Chelsea a bit richer though. Supporters of animal rights will be pleased to know that Veggie Games are soon to release their quirky animal rights video game, Steer Madness. The game puts you into the hooves of Bryce the steer, who after narrowly escaping the slaughterhouse goes on a mission to save his animal friends. Not a Grand Theft Auto beta, but they've made a nice job of the poster. The premiere of Oliver Stone's film Alexander not only brought out the stars, but also the makers of the tie-in game. Unperturbed by the film's universal panning, developers Ubisoft were keen to hand out their game to the stars.
Dude, that is so cool.
I don't have a computer. You don't have one handy, do you?
Oh my God, it is not. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Teach Maddox all about Alexander. You can be Alexander.
That's crazy.
When you're relying on Lil Bow Wow to publicise your product, you know you're in trouble.
I know the whole story line for line, scene for scene, and play for play. I'm gonna be playing this all day, that rhyme too.
Most sane people would concede that any game involving virtual farming is likely to be about as enjoyable as having your wisdom teeth removed through the sole of your foot. Well, guess what? Most sane people are right. The latest Harvest Moon game, Oh Wonderful Life, has finally reached the PS2. In it, you take control of said farm from an old friend of your father, and very soon get down to the scintillating task of meeting cows, naming cows, and then feeding and milking cows. If this seems boring, you can order a more varied selection of livestock or gad about meeting the neighbours. Thankfully, the game isn't in real time, but we assure you once you get down to the business of tending to the land, it's going to feel that way. You have to be suspicious of any game where a weather bulletin is a highlight. And we can honestly say that the most dramatic things we did was saving the dog from the rain and visiting a bar. Oh yeah, and there was that time we tried to drown ourselves. Harvest Moon is one of those peculiarities that should be banned from ever leaving Japan. Unless you're a tree-hugging insomniac, avoid like the proverbial plague. Still to come on Gamer TV, we look at all the games you should be playing on your new Nintendo DS. And check out Mario voicer Charles Martinet's San Francisco pad. I'm always having fun.
Get up to speed and transform your gaming experience with Blue Yonder Broadband Internet.
Gadgets, Gadgets, Gadgets starts January the 3rd on Bravo.
Ministry of Sound, the best music for your mobile. Intenso project featuring Lisa Scott Lee. Get it on. Text Sound 55 to 88888. For Dana Raines, Object of My Desire, text Sound 54. Angel City featuring Laura McCallan with Do You Know, text Sound 53. Danzel's Pump It Up, text Sound 52. Eric Prydz, Top Hit, Call On Me, text Sound 51 to 88888 now.
I've come to Scotland to see what Sainsbury's have got in store for us this Christmas. And I'm going to kick off with their new smoked salmon. So what's so good about your salmon?
Well, as you can see here, our fish are fit and healthy because they're in a tidal loch, which means they have clear, cold water.
That is a beautiful fish. Tell me about the ingredients for your smoke, then.
We use birch and juniper. It's growing all around us.
So that must give the smoke an amazing aroma.
Tremendous aroma and unique to Sainsbury's.
Wow, that's incredible. Look at the colour. Can I try some?
We'll have some later with the drink.
Wow, that is very, very good salmon. With Sainsbury's putting this much effort into everything, we're going to have a great Christmas.
When you've got a cold, Vicks Vapor Rub helps you breathe more easily. So you sleep like a baby. Breathe deep, sleep tight.
You'll be amazed at what you can now pick up at Pizza Hut. There's a delicious new range of pastas and salads. and they're only $4.99 for a limited period.
For central heating care all year round, call us on 0800 466 322. Simple.
Glamorous photos? Not my style. Showing off in a convertible? What for? Spending hours on my looks? No way. Hugo, your fragrance, your rules.
Walking is the simplest way to stay fit and healthy. The talking pedometer from JML makes it easy to take the 10,000 steps a day that doctors recommend. A friendly voice announces the steps you've taken, the distance covered and calories burned. And there's a built-in FM radio too for entertainment while you exercise. The talking pedometer is sleek, stylish and packed full of features. Available for only $14.99 at Woolworths.
Do I worry 'cause you're stepping out? Do I worry 'cause you've got me in doubt?
We all need a little soothing sometimes. The fragrance of lavender and chamomile, the soothing fabric conditioner in new Bold 2-in-1.
82228, your favourite fun sound charts. Get your favourite fun sound as ringtone or message tone on your mobile. Just text fun and the chart position to 82228. Answer your phone in Japanese. Text fun 25. Give in to your mobile. Text fun 24. Check it out. Text fun 23 for South Park fans. Text fun 22. Our tip of the week: go nuts with the Crazy Frog. Text fun 21 to 82228.
Get up to speed and transform your gaming experience with Blue Yonder broadband internet.
Welcome back to Gamer TV. Right, now let's keep on with the DS coverage. Nintendo's new twin-screen wonder is blessed with gaming innovation, but can the initial wave of third-party games reach the system's magic potential? Mr. Driller Drill Spirits is Namco's first crack of the DS whip. It plays like a fusion of Tetris and Dig Dug, so puzzling and excavation is the, drill. A storyline isn't needed, but Drill Spirits has a basic scenario anyway. You're on a rescue mission to dig your fellow drillers out of trouble. Shovel coloured blocks by tapping them on the touchscreen. As you dig, things become hazardous. Unstable blocks above you start falling, and if you don't find air capsules, you'll suffocate. Wireless multiplayer is supported in a race drilling mode, but strangely, you need multiple game cards. Overall, Drill Spirits comes across as fun, if a bit samey.
3, 2, 1.
Every good lineup of launch software needs a driving title, so until Ridge Racer arrives, the DS gets its racing in the form of Asphalt Urban GT from Ubisoft. This is straight-up pedal-to-the-metal arcade motoring, along the lines of EA's Burnout 3. There are around 20 licensed dream cards to earn as race prizes, or by cashing in your winnings at the showroom.
Wow, first place!
Your wheels are then put to use on real city street tracks. The touchscreen is employed as a race map, but that's about it. Asphalt's quite rough around the edges, which suggests that maybe it was rushed out to meet the DS launch date. Pretty disappointed. EA opened their DS account with a portable version of The Urbs Sims in the City. Like its housebound console cousins, The Urbs simulates urban life as opposed to The Sims' suburban version. Getting by in the city is tough, so once you've decided on your Urbs' appearance and attitudes, they're thrown right into some hard, menial work until they can build a reputation and some social status. The touchscreen is used here for map and menu matters, and it does the job of freeing up the main game display. Because it's more objective-based than the standard Sims format, having to ensure your herb is fed, watered and washed can annoyingly hamper progress. If life simulation's your bag, Herbs DS will keep you happy enough while you're on the move. You may not recognise his face, but we can guarantee you'll be familiar with the voice of American actor Charles Martinet.
Hello, it's me, Mario! Woohoo!
That's right, he's the voice of Nintendo legend Mario. And he recently invited us to see his pink house on the outskirts of San Francisco.
Howdy, how y'all doing? My name's Charles Martinet. I'm the voice of Mario and Wario and Luigi and Luigi and of course Baby Mario. Woohoo! And this is my lovely house that I live in Sausalito, California.
So let's get this right. Not only does Charles earn a living doing silly voices, he also gets to play one of gaming's leading characters.
Mario is such an iconic character because he really represents something that we all want to be. Just an everyday guy who falls in love with a princess and saves the world and saves the island and has this wonderful adventure in life doing it.
We all know about Mario, but what about the man responsible for bringing the world's most famous plumber to life? Let's go and meet him.
This is my little living room here. I love pink flamingos, so I have pink flamingo lighting, pink flamingo pens, pink flamingo everything. Ta-da! Yoo-hoo! Even pink flamingo hair. Fabulous. Okay, Mario is the superstar! Woohoo! I have these wonderful graphics of Mario that I've done at trade shows, and wonderful Mario fan that did this beautiful artwork and said, Mr. Martinet, I'm a fan and you're a role model. It kind of reminds me always to be that role model. A little girl came up to me in Mexico City and said to me in Spanish, you know, that she always loved Mario. This was the first little toy she got as a baby, and she gave it to me. It was the sweetest gift I've ever received. I started out doing theater for many years, and then I started doing a lot of weird corporate videos and things. It's a great thing to have photographs because you forget the things that you've done in life, and then you go, oh, I remember that. I remember the big sale. Fun stuff. I make a living having fun. It's the best one there is. And this is where I record. I have a totally portable system now, so I can just go around the world in any hotel room that has an internet connection. I can now do recording. It's a Mario, and I'ma always have fun. Woohoo! And one day soon, I'll be doing Mario in real time with this very microphone in this very room. I'll be able to see children in a Toys R Us store in New York City, and at the same time being able to talk to them. This is my little bedroom. I love this game, Mario Kart Double Dash. I fly up to Seattle and we order sushi lunch, and I spend a couple hours eating and watching video, and then we start creating the scenes and doing the dialogue. It's all about having fun and creating the best product possible. Well, that's my house. Thank you all very much for coming. It's great to see you. And I just want to say to everybody at Gamer TV, you're number one! Woohoo!
When the second Time Splitters game was announced on the Xbox, it was an enjoyable cartoon romp. When the third Time Splitter game was announced on the Xbox, it wasn't Halo 2. I'm not sure, but this might conceivably be a problem.
What the? Any chance of a hand?
Of course, we'll reserve judgment until we get a finished copy, but this preview code of Time Splitters Future Perfect deviates little from the established formula of visiting folks from a variety of centuries and then shooting them in the head. There seems to be an awful lot of different guns, mind, and it's true to say that each chronological location has been given its own distinct flavour. There are some nice set pieces too. We're especially looking forward to this high-speed shootout on a train.
Need a lift? Yeah, thanks for stopping.
One time-travelling innovation will be the ability to team up with yourself. A risky gambit as you're usually too busy thinking about the metaphysical implications to aim properly. Cutscenes look likely to abound, and it's nice to know that developers Free Radical's Split to Eidos hasn't robbed them of their sense of humour.
I only wanted to be loved.
The first two games were hardly sophisticated, and Future Perfect isn't looking any more so. Challenge modes will be included with the standard story and arcade modes, including one mad dash to shoot bottles in a disco. On the multiplayer front, there'll be Xbox Live and network options. And in Deathmatch Arena mode, you can use bots for practice runs.
The gunboat's got me pinned down. Can you disable the turret somehow?
The real question is whether the relative simplicity of the series is an idea that's had its day. While PS2 and GameCube owners may treasure every FPS that comes their way, Xbox owners have at least one essential shooter waiting for them at the shop. Whatever the case, we'll have a verdict for all formats in the very near future, and the ancient past.
I'll never eat calamari again.
All right, enough messing about with all this time-travelling malarkey. Punch the coordinates in the flux capacitator and head for home. See you next time on Gamer TV.
Thanks. No problem, man. Let's go.